In today's video from the Photoshop series, we are going to see 3 ways to make transformation easily. It depends on your preference, how you like to make the transformations. First thing that we will make a simple square to be able to understand the transformations we are speaking about. So we will just draw a simple square here with just a simple guideline. Okay. Now, the first way to do transformations that you go after you had selected your shape to go to edit, transform path. Okay, or you're making V if you are making V as a selection, so that's transform path. If you making the selection, edit, you got transform. That's not transform the shape, not the path itself. Okay, and then you got the scale, the rotate. Sorry, you got the scale, the rotate, the skew, the distort, and the perspective. The scale and rotate, you can do it without coming to the menu here. We will see it from the outside. The skew, we will see the skew in a moment. When you have the skew, you will find this small white arrow is coming. When you select one of the corners and just you drag it, you will find that there is a skew in one of the sides. Okay, if you go here, you will find skew in one of the sides, but you will find that the side of the rectangle is just moving along its path. You cannot take it outside. You see, you cannot take it outside if you drag it. If you drag it to the inside, like this, okay, you will find that it is transformed to the other side and to the angles. Okay, anyhow, when you, that's the skew. Anyhow, any transformation you make, you'll find that the transformation bar appears here on the top. So the other transformation, edit, transformation, and you got distort. So distort, this allows you to move any corner of your shape, not relative in perspective to the sides. You can move it freely. So if I hold this one, I can take it any way. So it's not moving on the same line again or of the original sides. You can take it any way. Okay, so that's distort. The other one, which is perspective, or the third one, which is the perspective. Okay, it moves. It creates a perspective of your shape. So it changes the two corners together of the shape. So what does this mean? Simply, if you click here, you will find that it changes the perspective of your shape. So if you go like this, you'll find it changes two perspective of your shape at the same time. So that's the perspective too. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Okay, so another way to do this is using the key strokes. Firstly, if you are just making the selection, you have only the selection using V. If you make V, you select. So simply, if you click on any of the corners of your triangle, you can scale it. Of your rectangle, you can scale it. You can see that you are scaling it. Okay, using any corner. And you will find, if you go anywhere around it, you will find the rotation. So you can go and rotate it in any angle. You can do this directly without holding any stroke. If you hold the control, okay, stroke, now I'm holding the control stroke. You can, this one I'm holding the control stroke. And you come to any of the corners, you will find that the control is working like the distort. So holding the control alone, I'm holding now the control button alone, together with my mouse, I'm working as the distort. Okay, so holding shift and control at the same time, okay, you can see that we are working now with the skew. The skew, you move on, you can see that you are moving on the same side. So here you are moving on this side. If you want to go down, it will be moving on this side. Okay, and if you go in the middle here, okay, you have the rotation, the direction, and so on. So control shift. If you come here, you see that you are holding, if you are holding from the center, you are moving the two sides together. Okay, so that's the skew. If you are holding from the center, you're moving the two sides together. Okay, control shift with alt. So if you're able to hold these 3 strokes together and you hold one of the sides of the triangle, then you can see that you are making some great perspective changes. Okay, holding these 3 screws together. Okay, holding these 3 buttons together, you can make great perspectives of your shapes. So that's one way two ways to do it, one from the menu, the other way using the keystrokes. The third way to do it is simply, if you click Control T, you will find that on the top here, you will find the menu appearing for the all the transformations we had spoken about. So that's the position of your triangle. So you can change the position from here. For example, if you move like this, you will find that the XY starting point of your triangle is changing. Okay, so all this depends on this small here 9 squares. These 9 squares here makes the center of rotation. So you can see that the center of rotation is at the center. It says the reference point rotation. So it is here at the center, and when you change the XY point of your triangle, it's the one which is in the center here. It's roughly is this 1000 by 1000 image working plane. So that's roughly 500 by 500. That's the center point. If when you change it to 50, so this one, the X is translated to 50. So Control Z, it returns again. So this one is the translation. If you change the center point, for example, that center, so this one is the center of rotation of your triangle. If you need to rotate the triangle, it rotates around this point. Okay, and you will find the rotation angle here. So if I change this to 0 back again, so it turns straight, that's the rotation angle. You can do the rotation angle directly from the menu here. So I make 30, it's turning 30. Okay, that's all around the rotation angle, the center of rotation, which is this one. If you return the center of rotation again to the center, okay, it's coming here, and Control T again to return. So if you rotate from here using 30 degrees, it returns out the center of rotation, which is this one. That's the rotation, and this one is the scaling. So that's 100% by 100%. This link means that width and height are linked together. So if I change this to 150, so width and height are changed to 150%. If I return back to 100. If I removed this link and then I change only one of them, so one is changing, the width is changing, and the height remains the same. Okay, so that's him here from the menu. Okay, the angle we had seen, this horizontal and vertical, that's mainly for the skewing. So here horizontal skew, so if I make 10 degrees horizontal skew, that's this one. If I make 30 degrees vertical skew, that's this one, without using the menu or without using the mouse or without using the buttons or the combination of buttons we had said about. Okay, now that's 3 ways to do your transformations. I hope it's an easy thing to do. It's a skill to know it, because it makes it easy while working your illustrations and your image editing on Photoshop. See you in the coming videos.